6:30 and I'm starting. 6:30 Thursday afternoon. Wish me luck. Flushing the engine. Okay, this isn't as easy of a disassembly as I thought it would be. A large part of the time was actually draining the radiator and flushing it. I wanted to, a lot of people just drain it and then work on it. I wanted to actually flush it so that way the intake manifold would be cleaner. So I had to install this line on the heater hose. Flushed it. I'm in my garage. That took probably 2 hours of my time. It's now 5 till 11. Not really, I haven't got that far. I've unplugged most of the things. Some of them, you can tell they just naturally want to sit here because this thing doesn't move. Other ones I had to label just in case. My vacuum line is really corroded, really brittle. And my PCV valve, the seat that comes on the top up here, just popped off. I didn't even have to move it. So you can see the vacuum line ripped off, and the PCV valve just popped off too, or the PCV valve hose. I can't get this thing. I've spent so much time. This is your cruise control wire, and I can't get this thing off. I'm just calling it a night. I'm going to go research, see if other people online have had a similar issue. You can see I've almost broke it. I've gotten really close. You can see the source of the leak now. That was the one side and the other side. And good news, when I got the fan shroud off, you can see I cleaned it up, but there's a leak here, which has caused that massive wet pooling down there. You see this whole area is wet, so I had to buy another $120 radiator, $70 gasket kit, and then I bought a new water pump just as preventative maintenance, new thermostat. Now I have a new radiator. Yeah, it's adding up. So I was having issues with the thermostat. It was sending codes regarding the thermostat. So I just pulled off the thermostat pipe. Really, I'm not mechanically literate, so I can't tell you all the real names of these things, but check that out. Let me try and zoom in. I'm one-handed in it here. See that? That's sexy. That is sexy. So I guess I have to try and clean that. That's been running through my engine. This is the thermostat. Check that bad boy out. And that's like pretty big. That's running through my engine. I got these lines, fuel lines disconnected. Sorry, I'm trying to get light on there. Got these fuel lines disconnected, and I have no idea how to get them out of the way because they're aluminum and you're not supposed to bend them and they can crack. I unscrewed the bolt down at the bottom, but that's still not letting them move about freely. I have the plenum, however you pronounce it. Got it off. You can see the spider. This is what injects fuel into your system. When I was taking off my distributor cap, or the rotor cap, I think I stumbled on it, that it needs to be changed out. You can see that looks pretty toast. So I'm no mechanic, but I have a feeling that could have been the cause of my leak. Part of the gasket's actually still on right here, and you can see it's totally broken off. The rest of the gasket stayed on the engine, so this part stayed off. So that was obviously a clear break, and that would be one place where the gasket was leaking. You can see a giant chunk that came off. That was inside the engine. These are the bolts. I put them in this little diagram here because they are torsion bolts, so they're already stretched. So you want to make sure you put them back in the right, threaded slot they came out of. If you mix it up, you can mess up the threads. Here is the engine itself, and you can see, let me shine a light, the coup de grace for my engine was in two places. So it was over here on the light, right next to this bolt. You can see that gasket's all twisted and chewed up looking, and that was where it was leaking in one spot. The other spot it was leaking was back here, and I think it's kind of obvious why that was leaking. The gasket's bent up from here on back, and look at that crud. Can you see that? That is, I don't even know what the hell to do with that. Like, is that supposed to be like a giant engine zit coming out? I don't know. So I gotta clean this all up. I'm getting high from the gasoline fumes. Hopefully this goes well. That's supposed to look like that, right? Like a stamped piece of metal with rubber gaskets. That's supposed to be. That looks right, right? Like right there. I mean, that wouldn't cause a leak or anything. I mean, not that I know of. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. So I can't find anything online that says this port should be clogged with beeswax looking stuff. You can see I shaved it flat over here, but it's really crumbly. And the new gaskets have a metal tab that cover this port. So I'm just going to go ahead and mine it out, because you can see it's actually protruding out, and this is what was pushing that gasket up. Okay, I've come to the conclusion that this is a byproduct of the deck school, because it looks just like the stuff in the radiator. And when I cleared out this port here, haven't finished it, I'm still going to do a polishing of it, but when I cleared out this port here, a lot of water was squirting out. And when I flush my engine, obviously I flush it with water, so there's coolant back in here, and the coolant's building up on this plate, because the gasket has a metal band that covers this port. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Okay, I've worked on cleaning the upper intake. I know the other side was full of gunk and I cleared it out. I don't think I'm supposed to clear that out. I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to be clogged or not. I still got to research that. But I've scraped this clean and cleaned this off. Believe it or not, I've actually scraped that and put, I've been using mineral spirits on everything to clean it up. So you can see the bottom I still have to clean up. So it looks bad, and that's what it looked like up there. In here, let me get a light. In here, you can see I've cleaned it up pretty good. These ports are now cleared out as best I can. You can see gunk really far in there, but I'm afraid if I loosen it up, I can't get it out. And I've been trying to shop back in there best of my ability. But you can see these are all cleared out. Got the thread holes cleaned. So I've already loosened the torsion bolts, or torque bolts, on the cover here. I'm going to take those off. You can see now the lifters and rockers, and so I got to clean up that edge. I'm going to clean these up so that way you can reread 4V6 Vortec on it and finish that. Okay, so I've cleaned the covers. Clean the outside and the gaskets where the bolts go through. Underneath, I didn't actually clean it because you can actually dislodge chunks of oil, and that can get caught in the engine. But on the corners here, which is what I'm trying to zoom in on, I did clean those out and dry them off to the best ability. The instructions say put them on dry and don't use any greases. And I've wiped off the mating surface in here the best of my ability, so that's where it will sit. So I'm going to put those covers back on. So here is the top of the engine off. Want to do one final cleaning and make sure that no debris fell into the crankcase, and then I'm going to start putting it back together because I have a lot to do. Still have to take this water pump off and replace it, which right now I'm having a hell of a time getting the fan off. And I gotta take the radiator off and replace it. Okay, I got the gaskets on, the cover's cleaned up, so now I'm putting the bolts on. There's 3 bolts holding these on, and it's supposed to be 106 inch-pounds, which comes out to less than 8 foot-pounds. I'm supposed to take off the alternator bracket, and the air conditioning bracket. I couldn't get that off. You can see I unbolted the screws, so I've worked around it. So far it's working. This one I just loosened the screws and pulled it forward about 2 inches to give me clearance to reach that front manifold bolt. I just wanted to get a quick video of this. It's a little surreal to see your engine brought down to just that, or your car. Anyway. Okay, so I went ahead and got the new water pump installed. I went ahead and connected this hose, that radiator hose, because once you get the fan in place and everything, it's really hard to get to. Okay, so disengaging the fan is literally taking a large part of my day, like hours, and I figured it out. You have to hold the pulley still, or at least the mount of the pulley still. So you can see that would be the mount, and the pulley attaches to it. You have to hold that still, and then there's a giant bolt right here. I'm trying to get light on it, sorry guys. Giant bolt, and then you take a fan wrench and it unscrews. That took forever, and it's really hard, so good luck. Alright, this is the top of the manifold cleaned up. Alright, changed the gasket on the Spider. I'm about to change the gasket and the thermostat. And you can see this was the old thermostat. The gasket on that was kind of chewed up and ate. I pulled some big chunks out. I cleaned up down there to the best of my ability. Clean the manifold, the top of the manifold. I'm going to add the gaskets. I'm going to put the RTV sealant in, take that tissue paper out obviously, and then put the top on. Alright, gaskets are in place. I just got to put the RTV sealant down, a bead in the front and a bead in the back. Got the new thermostat in. You can see this one looks like it's a lot better condition. Again, I didn't touch in here because it's such a sensitive area. This is where your distributor cap goes. It comes with a seal too. I went ahead and put it on right there. So this is just an update. I have the not the throttle body, I have the plenum on, and I must say I really like that I cleaned it up. You can see shiny chrome again and the nice blue gaskets. Wonder how long that'll last. Got the plenum on, got the new distributor cap and rotor on. I'm having to replace some vacuum lines because check out this dry rot. Yeah, look at that. So, new vacuum lines. Grody old busted up radiator. New radiator. They're really easy to put in. You literally just drop them in and screw 4 things on. Okay, everything's done. I've filled up the radiator. I put 1 gallon of pure Dex Cool, and then probably, I don't know, 0.9 gallons of water. I'm going to give her a crank, and let's hope it works. Here goes nothing. It's alive! Let's hope it doesn't blow up in the next 30 seconds. As you can see, it's running. And I can definitely see why that fan shroud's there, because that thing looks scary. New serpentine belt seems to have adjusted fine. I'm going to back her up and change the oil. While I'm waiting on the engine to cool down so I can change the oil, in case any debris got knocked in there when I was cleaning out the manifold, some pointers. First of all, the fan is really hard to get off. If you go to your hardware store, they wrench you at no cost. Well, they put a hold on your card and then give you the money back. Wrench you a wrench to get that off. You have to somehow hold the pulley while you loosen the nut. Also, I replaced my serpentine belt. If you look at the idle tension pulley, how it's like straight down, On my old one, this thing was pretty much at a 45-degree angle, you know, going out to the left. So if you, from above, you can see it better. You know, it was like at that angle, so definitely was getting loose. Another thing that's difficult, what did I have problems with? Cleaning it takes most of the time. This throttle body is a pain in the ass. What I ended up having to do for this cruise control throttle was hold the pin back and unscrew this little thing. It's a threaded thing. Really wasn't all that bad. The wiring harness, it wants to lay in place, and where it lays is basically where everything goes, so I didn't even have to number all the, you know, all the sensor plugs or anything, because they kind of just fell in place. That's about it. Radiator is a breeze to replace. It's literally a drop-in situation. You just got 6 plugs on here. These are held in with cotter pins, so the bolts are permanently threaded. And then that's loose, but it's supposed to be. You have your big radiator hoses, and literally this thing is not bolted down. It's kind of held in place by the metal radiator wires. So all in all, it's a pain in the ass project.